Hello again, I'm Veronica Bierwirth, second-year student in the Game Development program of Centennial College. This is a follow-up video to my previous one, Tools of Maya, which showcased a few useful tools in the 3D modeling program Maya by Autodesk. We went over the tools Extrude, Bridge, Fill Hole, and Edge Loop. This video will be a tutorial you can follow along to see the Extrude and Edge Loop tools at work, as the Bridge and Fill tools are a bit more situational. Today we'll be modeling a fireplace with a chimney while keeping it very low poly, yet still being able to convey the overall shape. Again, this video is more catered towards beginners, however, people of all modeling levels are welcome to follow along. This video will be played back in real time, so don't worry about falling behind. Let's get started. In Maya, we're going to start off with a cube as we usually do, and set it up so it's not sitting inside of the grid. It's a bit too small, so we're going to elongate it so it's more of a rectangle than it is a square. The exact dimensions don't matter, so feel free to shape it however you please. I for one really like this shape, so this is the one that I'm going to be going with. We don't need this front face, so we'll go ahead and delete it. Make sure you don't accidentally delete the one behind it. Then select the edges of the side we just cut off. From there, we'll use the Extrude tool. By scaling down the edges we've just made, we can create the faces that will form the border of the opening of the fireplace. You can play around with the size of the opening, it's really up to you how you see it fit, but moving on, we're going to start making the chimney portion of the fireplace. We're going to select this top face here, extrude and scale up to create the base of the outer detailings of the chimney. You go ahead and do that, and feel free to shape it as you please. Again, this is your project, so you can make the mantle however you like. I'm not going to tell you exactly how you want to shape it. If you want to follow along the way that I do it, that's perfectly up to you. But if you want to play around and make some next level designs, then by all means let your imagination take hold. Or if you prefer, you can Google an image of a fireplace and start to shape your mantle the way that you see in the image. You can use a reference if you have an actual fireplace in your home, but either way you can decide on the shape that you want to create, or you can follow along. Trust me when I say this doesn't actually have as many polys as you would think. A beginner might think I'm adding a lot of faces, but these will probably end up being 600 to maybe 1,000 polys at the end. A lot of high density models will have well over 100 times that amount of polys. I've made this sort of hat shape you see in older fireplaces, and from there I'll create the chimney body by doing a rinse and repeat, extrude and scale, then take the top face and move it up. Once we have an overall shape we like, I'm going to add a few more details to the top. Some older chimneys have the exhaust pipes in threes, so that's what I'm going to be replicating here. We're going to use the Edge Loop tool to separate the three bases by adding two loops, and then sort the shapes of the pipes individually. I'm going to create a small rim at the tops and get rid of the faces, as this is where the smoke will escape. From there, you can continue working on it, or you can leave it as is. This is your project after all. I think it looks like a really nice low poly object that you can toss in any low poly scene. If you want to add more details, go right ahead, but for our purposes, I'll probably be leaving it there. I think it looks really nice. I can just imagine this as a red chimney stack, typical fireplace you would find. Whether or not it would be encased in marble is something that we can do in a texturing, or if you want you can draw straight on the model, but I feel like finding a pre-made texture might probably be easier for beginners. But that's a topic for an entirely different video. Nevertheless, if you made it to the end, thank you again so much for sticking through. I hope you enjoyed and were able to take something away from this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing results. Don't forget to check out the other videos on the channel. Have a good time modeling.